to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with the big man himself, Big Johnny Fisher, the Romford Bull. You're here in Liverpool, mate. I'm sure you've been here before on a fight night, so how are you feeling? How's life?
Really good. Nice to see you again, and great to be back in Liverpool. Good fighting city. I watched Smith versus Fowler last time I was up here, so great place to be. I'm looking forward to it.
Talking about, obviously, the Liverpool crowd, and you've been up here, you've witnessed the Rochester crowd that they can bring. Obviously, you bring a bull army with you. I'm sure I've watched your dad's. Kevin, how you doing, brother? You good? Bosh! I've seen your dad post stories, and that they've got like a Scotland bull army. They've got they're everywhere. Australian bull army. I mean, they're everywhere. You're building a great fan base for yourself. So, adding that to the Scousers, I mean, it's going to be a good night.
It's brilliant, and every time I come up here, you get such a warm welcome from the Scousers, and they're passionate people, and it's great to be up here. I know there's a few other big ticket sellers on this card as well, especially being local, like Robbie Davis and Peter McGraw. I was up here the last time. I think McGraw was on that undercard, and he sold a few tickets. So it'll be good to see the mix of the Scousers and the Essex boys. I hope it's all friendly.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will be. You're a lovely bloke. So that's what I was thinking when I was driving down here. I was sort of driving down here, and I was thinking, Johnny Fisher, right? Who can I talk to him about fighting? But you're friendly with every heavyweight. Fabio Wardley, Joe Joyce. You're friendly with them all. So are you ever going to fight these guys? Because how would that fight week be if you're just so friendly with them all?
Well, yeah, there's plenty of people to fight out there, not just in England. Like, there's American heavyweights, there's people in Europe. Like, but for now, for where I am,
if you want that British title,
yeah, the British title, that's what I really want. But it all takes its course as it's meant to. I don't even think, and why would I be unfriendly with someone because I'm going to fight them? Once we get in the ring, it's down to business. But I've got to focus on what I've got to do first. I don't get ahead of myself at all. I've got to beat Alfonso Damiani. I say this every time I fight. But if you overlook that guy, that's when you're going wrong. I can't overlook anyone. And for me, these little tests I've been having so far, whether that's the fight I had in Sheffield or the fight I had last in Wembley, I'm not meant to be getting rid of these guys as quick as I am. They're meant to be giving me a little bit more of a test, but that's a testament to how well I'm training and how hard I'm putting the work I'm putting into my power. So I just got to go with it, and the path will unfold as it's meant to.
5th or 6th professional fighter, I believe, in your fight.
7th. No, it's not 8th.
8th. Geez, I'm way off then. 8th professional fight, and you're up against a guy with a winning record again. So obviously he's here to test you, and that's kind of what you want to build your career. Because, like I say, the heavyweights right now is a booming division. So I know as a young man you're probably eager to get to that sort of British level as soon as possible, but that's the type of opponents you need.
I am keen to get there, but I wouldn't say I'm keen to get there as soon as possible, because I know there's a process in place where you have to come through these guys. Look at my 5th fight, that guy took me 6 rounds, Gabriel Nguema, really tough, and you look at his record and you think, oh, he's won 11 and he's lost 13, he's not going to be that tough. That was the toughest fight I've had. So looking at people I've got to come through, not even domestic, but foreign opponents, they're going to give me a test. And as you said, Alfonso Damiani's going to come to win. He's a proud man. Rising, who I fought in Sheffield, was trying to take my head off in that first round, and he's never been stopped. So there's these little tests that I've got to come through before I get to them. It's my first 8 rounder, and I've got to get to 10 rounds, and I've got to get to 12 rounds. So there's a lot of obstacles in my way, but that's what you've got to do. Just what's the next thing? Tick it off, and the path will become clear.
That's one thing about you, Johnny. As a heavyweight in a showcase division, for a young man, you've got a very, very mature head on them shoulders, which is good to see, and probably what's needed in this heavyweight division. But you mentioned there that I said that you're friendly with every single heavyweight here in Britain, but there is American heavyweights and there is European heavyweights. Now, one American heavyweight seems to have it out for you for some reason. I don't know why, because you're a lovely guy. Is Chris Lovejoy? He seems to be wanting to fight with you. Is that a fight that can be made maybe? You said you've got to learn your craft first, but is that a fight that can be made maybe 2, 3, 4 fights down the line? Not
anymore. I'm not interested in fighting him anymore after what I saw a couple of weeks ago. So, Chris, I thought you was a stand-up guy, but for now, that's not on the table, so we can forget about Chris Lovejoy. I'm a professional boxer. I'm here to do it properly, and he sort of misled me a little bit. I thought he was tough. I thought he'd have a go. I know he weren't as good as his record was saying, but yeah, I'm not interested in people who just do that.
Well, that's fair enough. But like I said to you, the heavyweight division. How are you doing, mate? You're good. Heavyweight division is a great division to be in, and as a young fighter looking ahead into that division, when you've got the guys like Tyson Fury and Joshua, and Joe Joyce, the older statesmen, Usyk, they're in their mid-30s. Now, when they retire and when they go, we need a new crop. We need the face of the heavyweight division. Wilder's in his mid-30s as well, so these guys are getting on, but we do have a young crop coming through in Fabio Wardley, yourself. Is Johnny Fisher, is he the face of the heavyweight division in 4, 5, 6 years' time?
Yeah, probably. That's where you want to be, isn't it? When you're thinking 6, 7, 8 years. But I don't like talking like that because it's just not in my nature to say, oh, I'm going to be the face of the division, I'm going to do this. The way I go about all my business, whether that was in boxing or rugby or when I do my school, anything I do, I don't worry about the bigger picture. I just got to win the next fight, win the next thing. And if I'm still here in 3, 4, 5 years' time, then it's because I'm still winning. And then in 3, 4, 5 years' time, I'm probably going to be in the mix. So yeah, I've got to just keep ticking each challenge off as it comes. And when you get to that high level, like the Usyks, the Furies, the Joshuas, if you do get there, then you've made your money and you're in a great position. Why not just throw hammer and tong at it and give it a go? That's how I see it.
Like I said, you've got a mature head on them shoulders, but you do invest in yourself. You do invest in your career, because I've seen you out in Vegas. I've seen you out learning with Ishmael Silas. I've seen you out with Big Joe Joyce. I've seen you sparring every single heavyweight that you can get your hands on to learn your craft. So you are investing in yourself to get to the top.
Definitely, and people often say people think of boxing like a business. They're not in it for the right reasons. But listen, I'm in boxing because I love it. But you've also got to have the business head on your shoulders. If you was in any other line of work, you'd invest in yourself. You'd invest in the tools that you've got, and that's what I'm doing when I go into camps in Vegas. I'm investing my time, my money, my efforts into that because I know it's going to progress me. And me going to travel here or spar someone there, that's what you've got to do, like any other good businessman would do.
I've got to get your thoughts then, because you do train alongside Joe Joyce and he's up against Zhang Jili, or Jili Zhang, I don't know which is Jili Zhang. I mean, when I watch a southpaw that can bang at a heavyweight, and then you've got a big Joe Joyce who's a big heavyweight that can bang, and they both come forward, they don't take a backward step. It's an exciting fight, so how do you see it?
I think Zhang's going to be, he's big trouble for anyone in the division. The only problem for Zhang is he's got to try and take down a man who just doesn't seem to be able to be taken down. And what's he going to do when he hits Joe Joyce on a button and it doesn't budge and all it does is unlock the next level of Joe Joyce? That's what I'm interested in. And I know he can punch and Joe's got to be wary of that. But the training that he's doing out in Vegas with Salas, he's got a great strength and conditioner in Larry Wade as well. He's going to be in tip-top condition. And I think by round 4, 5, 6, I think he's just going to overwhelm Zhang, because he's getting on a bit as well, but you can see the freshness and the difference. Joe Joyce 37 looks like he's just coming into his prime now. Zhang looks like he's not on the wane, but you can see the age in him, do you know what I mean? But he had a very, very good performance against Hrgovic last time out, so it's going to be interesting.
Another heavyweight fight that's around the corner, 3 weeks I believe away, 4 weeks away, is Joshua Franklin. Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, interesting fight. I watched Franklin White live and I thought Franklin did very, very well. A lot of people thought he edged it and nicked it, but it's not going to be a straightforward one for Joshua because he's got a lot of heart, that Franklin, as well. But I think he needs a statement finish, and I hope he does, because I've met him once and he's a very nice guy, and he's great for British boxing. And if he's doing well, it seems like the whole of British boxing is doing well. So we want him to do well.
I've got to get your thought on another, because you're in the heavyweight division. I've got to get your thoughts on it all. So I read this morning that Usyk's team has said to Fury's team that a 60-40 split to the winner. I think Fury's turned around and said no. Do you think we'll get to see this fight, and what's your thoughts on that 60-40 split?
So it's a 60-40 split to the guy who wins. Yes. So it's not about the fight afterwards, is it?
No.
So it's just about this fight. So whoever wins gets the bigger share.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I've only seen that snippet from, is it Alex Krasik, his name?
Yeah,
I haven't heard what Tyson Fury's had to say or what his side of the argument is, but I hope they just come to an agreement. At that top level, there's so much that there's at play with money and politics and stuff. So these big fights, we just want to see them. I know it's frustrating, but they've got to do what's right for them, because at the end of the day, they're the guys who've got to get in there and they've got to put it all on the line. So we just got to be patient, and hopefully this year, sometimes when the negotiations break down and they come away for a week or a couple of weeks and then they come back, I think that's what could happen, because they don't want to lose the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, as a young fighter, and the stress that comes with being a fighter at such a young age, I do want to get your thoughts on young Conor Benn and what he's going through at this moment in time. You live near Conor, you've seen what's going on. Your thoughts on the whole situation right now? Listen,
I don't like commenting on it because I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't know what Conor Benn's been through. I saw his interview with Piers the other day. He looked distraught. And I'm hoping and praying that he can be proved innocent. He's such a nice man, really down to earth, always had time for me and my dad and my family when he's seen them. But it's just something that I don't know enough about what's going on with him. I know what evidence is out there, but as people have been saying, more evidence always comes out. And if I was in the position he's in and I was innocent, I wouldn't like people throwing hammer and tong at me. They have the right to, because they're the boxing public, and I've got nothing wrong with that. But for me, in my position, I don't think I've got any right to comment on what Conor Benn's going through, because I just hope he gets it resolved.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, Johnny, back to you then. Big fight ahead of yourself against an opponent who's coming to win, who's got a winning record. Now, everyone loves the heavyweight division because we see big knockouts. Can the Romford Bull produce a big knockout on Saturday night?
I always want to produce a knockout. I always want to. I'm never going to lie. I want to give that, because that's what people come to watch. People, as you said, come to watch heavyweight boxing because they want to see people smashing each other up. That's the bottom line of it. But however it comes, I've always said this, knockout, points, whatever. The win is the most important thing. But if I can top that off with a nice KO, that's what you want. Just got to make sure he doesn't get me and I'll get him first.
That's what I was going to say. Make sure you get in there first. I've got to say that the Bull Army's growing, man. But your dad, can he control it all? Does he need a lieutenant in Scotland? The Mick Bosch Army? Does he need?
You want to be a lieutenant of the McBosch Army? That's
Bosch
fine.
Army.
Andrew McCART, leader of the McBoshes. Bosh. Good man, Andrew.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something. Completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.